training for like ultramarathon stuff. So I come from a CrossFit background, so I haven't been able to like give up that lifting functional fitness, so I kind of find a way to mix the two.
What are you training today?
Today I'm training like more lower body, focusing on like posterior and anterior work. Yeah.
Is it for your ultra marathon?
Yeah. I guess just like keeping up strength, just in general. But I do think about like more kind of single leg work and like working on that core stability. Yeah.
And are you following some sort of training program for that?
No, I just write it for myself.
Oh, no.
But it's working out all right so far. So just keep ticking away. Just kind of like look at that progressive overload over the weeks, and just like my experience in the gym, I've been able to, like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you do your like own research, and it's from like the past.
Yeah, like I guess past coaches that I've had, and so I take things that I've learned from there, and then things that I know maybe I need to work on, say like I've worked with a physio and things like that, and I just kind of bring it all together.
So you do note down what you're training each day?
Yeah, so I have all my weeks leading up to my race. I think I started programming maybe 12 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I kind of try and work like 2 weeks ahead. Yeah.
And what does your like training days look like? What days do you run? What days do you gym? I gym in here about 3 times a week, so I do aim for 2 lower body like slash like posterior work, 1 upper body, and then I'll look for 5 to 6 days of running, and then a couple of CrossFit classes, and I have a few spin classes mixed in there. Yeah. And how do you like balance everything, you know, because you got a full-time job,
a part-time job,
part-time study,
it's so
job,
fun. It's so fun.
You got a part-time job, full-time study, and then you got the gym. How do you balance all of that?
Honestly, like I would say it doesn't really feel like a balance. Like it's not, I don't feel like I live a very balanced life per se, but like I guess when things are challenging, or when I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do all of this, I just kind of remind myself like this is kind of the season of life right now. Like I have to study to kind of get where I want to be, and do the training to get where I want to be, and you know, like it'll ebb and flow. And so like I know that when it's really busy and maybe overwhelming, that there'll be a time soon, maybe in the future, that it's not so hectic.
Yeah. How do you train for an ultra?
I guess, honestly, like I just think about it like time on the legs. Like, yeah, I do have a bit of a structure to my training weeks, but at the end of the day, like if I go out and the run's not feeling good, it's just like time on the feet. Yeah. What
does your like recovery look like?
Honestly, abysmal. So abysmal. Like I like to do my like rehab prehab as much as I can, and like stretching, you know, I'd like to say like over the day stretch maybe for like 10-15 minutes, but on a whole, like it's definitely something I need to work on. What motivates me to do it? I think I just want to see how far I can push. Like there's something about like putting yourself in a hole, like in a hole, and it's like it's kind of just one of those things like over such a long period of time there's always going to be problems, like there's always going to be things that come up, and there's always a solution to a problem, and to kind of like just chip away at that, just be like, do I need to eat more? Do I just need to like forget about what's happening in my head? Like, do I need more water? But yeah, I don't know, it just feels like just such a natural thing. Like, you just need to put one foot in front of the other. And there's something about that that's just, I don't know, I get maybe addictive, I would say. Yeah.
And like, when's your next race?
10th of May, so I've got like 3 weeks.
Oh, and where's that?
Where? Ultramarathon.
Oh,
So it's going to be another backyard ultra.
How did you get into ultra marathon running?
I guess it probably all started in lockdown, and I remember like I came back from a PE camp at school and we got told that we were back in level 4 lockdown for like the second time, and I just remember feeling like so frustrated, and I was like, I'm just gonna run. So then I ran, and then I was like, if I keep running, I'm gonna run 21 Ks. And so that's what I did, and then I guess from there, I guess that must have been like 21 maybe, and from there I've kind of like chopped and changed a little bit with like my focuses, but always come back to that and wanting to like be outside and kind of like almost like get to that hole, like looking for that kind of like how far can I push myself. But I guess that's where it all started and just like built from there.
And when was your like first one or your first event?
I think I did my first ultra. I think my first ultra was a backyard ultra. So we have one here in Dunedin, Pig's Backyard Ultra, and it's just a 6.7k loop every hour on the hour. And I think I went for 10 loops, so it ended up being like 67 Ks.
Who do you look up to? Can be anyone.
Heck yeah. That's a really interesting question. Like I've never really looked up to anyone like in like maybe spaces of like power or influence, but like more people in my circle. Like I think like my really good friends and my flatmates, like I guess I try and surround myself with people that inspire me, and so I definitely look up to them and like the way that they go about their days and live their lives and carry themselves. But I think in terms of sport, I don't know, like I just really enjoy it, and so I don't necessarily look at what the greats are doing and I'm like, I want to be like that. I don't really feel that. Yeah, I just want to enjoy it.
What do you do for work?
I am a gym instructor, and yeah, I kind of just like facilitate the gym floor at a different gym, not here, and do like group fitness, so spin classes, and then I coach CrossFit at CrossFit Primed and help out at Southern Peak with the youth CrossFit. Yeah. I didn't do a race, so I think I saw someone posted about they had gone and done the Kepler, and I was like, that looks so cool, and so I was like, well, I've got Friday, Saturday off, so I just woke up at like an ungodly hour of the morning on Friday, and then drove myself to Tiana, did the loop, drove myself home.
What kit do you need for that?
What kit? I guess like I had my running vest, water, food, like rain jacket and stuff, but I had such good weather. But like, if anyone is actually listening to this and is like, I'm gonna go out there, you should really have like rain jacket, thermal, because the weather changes really fast. But yeah.
And how long did it take you?
It took me 8.5 hours, so it was 60 Ks. But it was incredible. Like it's actually so accessible. Like there's so many huts along the way. It's insane. Yeah.
So what's your long-term goal?
Long-term goal, honestly, like I think just like enjoy it and like be happy and healthy. Like if I'm happy and I'm healthy, and that's the most important thing. Like I always tell people that if you're in the gym or you're struggling to get into the gym, like maybe the gym is not the right place for you, that's so fine. Like just find something that you enjoy and that makes you happy. And I guess like I never went into this or like started this in a competitive kind of way. Like I really just like froth being outside in the hills. Yeah.
Where would your favourite place to run be, you reckon?
Oh, my favourite place. My favourite place. I guess right now, like I love, honestly, just in the hills we have up in Dunedin. Like to get from, once you realise that it's so easy to get from like the Pineapple Track, the Bull Ring up to Swampy Summit, and then you're like, you can go into the Silver Peaks from there, come back around, and it's like right on our doorstep.
What got you into the gym?
Well, I watched, when I was like 13, I watched on Netflix, they have like the Fittest on Earth documentaries, which is essentially just like the CrossFit Games. And I was watching that and I was like, I want to do that, like that is so cool. And I like begged and pleaded my parents, and eventually they let me go with one of my friend's mums. And yeah, started going like twice a week, 3 times a week, and then I was like, I want to live here. Yeah, just gone from there.
And did you like compete in any other sport or anything like that?
I mean, like I played like football, netball, softball.
Yeah.
But once I got into CrossFit, I was like all in for it. And I guess that's actually one thing that now that I'm a bit older, like coaching the kids, I always tell them like, stay in your sport. Like fitness is always going to be there.
So do you like compete in CrossFit as well as do this running stuff as well?
I used to.
Yeah.
Right now, not anymore. Like I tried to do both, and I kind of like crashed and burned a little bit. So I just decided like I'm going to put all my eggs in one basket. And I can definitely tell it's paying off, but like I have no doubt there'll be a time where, I don't know, I want to jump in for fun for a comp, but no, not right now. Yeah.
And how many like competitions are there like within a year for running, like ultramarathon running?
Ultra running. Honestly, I reckon if you looked hard enough, there'd be one every weekend.
Holy heck.
It's kind of like, you kind of have to pick and choose.
How has Compound helped with your training goals?
I guess, like I feel like I've been very supported by Ben. So that's really helped me out and kind of like, has actually probably hit me with a lot of reality. Like if you want to like really commit to the more like endurance side of things, then you are going to have to change up your strength training. And for me, like I kind of needed that reality check of like, I've always kind of had the mindset of like, oh yeah, I could do everything, but like you actually, if you want to like go far in something or you want to achieve like some big goals, you kind of just have to commit to that time and effort into that specifically. Yeah.
And when you change your type of training, was it like pretty hard for you?
So hard, because I guess it was a lot more, I had to be a lot more methodical about it, and I couldn't really just like come into the gym or go to the CrossFit gym and just like rip the shit. But yeah, almost just like just focusing in a little bit more. Yeah.
When you shifted your training,
yeah.
Did your like lifts go down in weight? Or
I haven't really tested my maxes, but like overall, I feel like I've kept a lot, like most of my strength, which has been so surprising.
Have you got any advice for someone starting at the gym or starting and running?
In the gym or running. I guess in both senses, like if you're wanting to get into it, just I guess like it's important to know why you're doing it. Like, do you have a specific goal, or do you just want to do it for fun? Like, but just find something that you enjoy. Like, I really do think that if you're going to come into the gym and you're just hating life, you're not going to stick with it, and just put your time somewhere else. But there's so many other things like sports or like running, get outside and be in the hills, like whether you're walking, running, both. Yeah, I guess just find something that makes you happy. Yeah.
And then, this is a random one, like when you're doing your ultra marathon events or backyard ultras, what do you think about?
That's a really good question. I actually, one of my training days, I specifically run like in circles, like in the same loop over and over again, like purely just to kind of get to that place where I'm like so bored that funny things do come to your head and you're like, how do I like get through this? Or a lot of the time, like honestly, you are thinking like, I want to stop, like why am I doing this? But just like picking up skills along the way of like figuring out how to get through the next thing. And I don't know, I think about all sorts. I think about what I'm going to eat afterwards, like what I've got to do after my run. I think about how lucky I am to be out there doing it. Like honestly, like feel so privileged to have a body that will take me wherever I want it to go, essentially. What's your go-to meal afterwards? After a run, it's always changing. Like I very much have like hyperfixation meals. Recently, it's been like steak bowls. I'll have just like coumarin steak and egg and broccoli, and it's just like, actually, it sounds like shit, but it's so good. Sometimes I just want like, you know what's so good? A sparkling coconut water after a long run is all I want.
Ice cold.
Yeah.
What kind of distances are you running for your training at the moment?
For my training, it really depends on the week, and like if I do a big run, like the other week, I think I got to like 80 Ks, but my long run was like 60 Ks. So that, like this last week, got up to 70. I'll probably only get to like 80 before the race in a week and then drop back down. I feel like the mix of my strength training, and I do a lot on the bike as well with the running, I don't feel like I need to be doing like 100 plus Ks in a week.
Like, and for your training, do you like sometimes kind of mirror backyard ultras?
Yeah, totally. So one day a week I do just loops. So the last week I did just loops around like Logan Park for a couple of hours, and I guess not so much the terrain, but more just like getting to a place where you're like, I'm so bored, but you just got to keep going. Yeah.
Much of it is mental.
All of it. Honestly, all of it. Like, absolutely, there's an aspect of it that you physically need to have some sort of load in the legs, like going into it, depending on how far you want to go, but it's all in the head. Like if you could do all the training, and if you go into it and you're like, I can't do this, or like you're just in the pits, it's not gonna go well.
And how do you train for the mental side?
I have a bit of a rule right now that I can't, like, I'll go out for a training run and I'm not allowed to pull out before 5Ks. Because like right now the body is really sore, and there's always a little voice that's like, you should really stop, like this doesn't feel good, but you do always ease into it, and then it is like, it's okay. But I guess like